Lakers offseason is continuing after a non-competitive series against the Thunder. The Lakers did get Austin Reeves back from injury, but never saw Luka Doncic on the floor. LeBron took over, averaging just over 23 points per game, but it wasn't enough to get past the defending champs, of course. And so here's the King reflecting on that series. Listen.
This year, we fought and we played it to the maximum ability of our team. But ultimately, if we're being completely honest, we were out-talented. We were not outworked. We were not, they didn't out-physical us. They didn't outsmart us. I feel like we were just out-talent, by OKC. They just possessed so much more talent.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the playoffs. The Thunder won all 8 games against the Lakers this season during the regular season as well. Are these comments fair or foul by LeBron James, Stephen A?
I don't want to use the word foul like he's lying to anybody, but damn it, I have no choice. I think I don't agree with him. I think that, well, he's right. They were clearly out-talented. But to say they weren't outworked, even LeBron James was probably going to sit back right in this moment and be like, damn, he got a point. When I say this, DeAndre Ayton's on your squad, bro. I mean, really, we gonna sit up here and say that, you know what, y'all weren't outworked? Like, really? Yeah, that's what we gonna do? DeAndre Ayton was on your squad. LeBron, stop. Just stop that. Then listen, here's the thing that I would say, and I appreciate where LeBron is coming from, but he's not entirely accurate. We've seen the frustration on J.J. Redick's face this year on many, many occasions. It wasn't just due to a lack of efficiency. It was due to a lack of effort. There have been plenty of times when we've looked at the Los Angeles Lakers and we've questioned their effort. Not LeBron, because LeBron takes care of himself. And I think the thing that should bother, LeBron, that should bother everybody. Listen, everybody can't be LeBron, but you can certainly strive to emulate him in terms of his work ethic if you're a teammate. When you sit up there and there's a difference between getting ready and staying ready. LeBron is always ready because he always takes care of himself. He knows good and damn well he's got cats on the Los Angeles Lakers that use the season to get ready, use the season to get in shape. He knows that, all right? DeAndre Ayton is just an obvious answer. Some would say Luka. Others will look at Austin Reeves, whose skill set obviously has improved every single year, but in the same breath, you kind of look at him wondering when he's been in the weight room. You looking at other cats and wondering what level of dedication that they put forth that doesn't match their leader in LeBron James. I don't think anybody looks at the Los Angeles Lakers and say, oh, OKC just has more talent than the Los Angeles Lakers. You saw a team that was more focused, more dedicated, more committed to excellence than the Los Angeles Lakers were. I think that's clearly obvious, but LeBron didn't want to admit that, and I understand.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong, S.A., and I'm 1,000, I agree with LeBron James 1,000%. He's not lying. J.J. Redick maxed out the players that he had. Like, Jackson Hayes came into the game and gave max effort. Right? Like, Rui Hachimura gave max effort. LeBron James wasn't lying when it comes to they were out-talented because when you look at the league now, LeBron knows what it takes to win the NBA championship, right? You know what it needs. You need a handful of two-way players. Can you name me a two-way player on the Los Angeles Lakers? Can you name me one? That's going to get stops and be able to put the ball in the basket. I can name you a few on the New York Knicks. I can name you several on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I can even name you 5 or 6 on the San Antonio Spurs. So when you think about the Lakers, they didn't make the moves, and that was a shot again at Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss because y'all didn't make the moves at the trade deadline to put yourself in position to actually go out there and compete with the best of them. And that's why J.J. Redick was caught in 4K on the bench saying, I can't play him. And he was talking about DeAndre Ayton because they didn't have the talent.
It's a semantic essay because I think you both are right here in this one.
It's a what?
Semantic.
I like that. I like that. That's that Duke stuff.
Because I'm going to give you something. I used to think talent was always with the skill set of the player. It wasn't until I got to the league that I saw talent is also in your effort and your hustle.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a part of talent. Because like Ben Wallace used to say this all the time. He's like, yo, if I hang around the rim, if I give you effort, and if I get you 2 rebounds per quarter, I'm going to end up with 8 rebounds. If I give you 3 rebounds per quarter, I'm going to end up with 12. If I set a couple of screens, I get a couple of offensive rebounds, I get 4, I'm going to get 8 points off offensive putbacks. And I was like, oh my God, effort is translating into talent. It's an aspect of talent. So that's how I look at basketball. That's why I would agree with LeBron. But also, LeBron's not going to say all the things that SA said because he may come back to that team next year. And he had to think about who he's coming back to if he does.
Right. Quick final word, SA.
I'm just saying, listen, I didn't say LeBron was wrong by saying they were out-talented. I'm just saying that ain't the only reason. That might be the biggest reason because that's what it comes down to. But that wasn't the only reason. Big Perk, you watched the Lakers all the time this year. So did I and what have you. There were plenty of nights when we looked at, and not him, but we looked at others and it was like, yo, that effort ain't there. The Southern California sunshine, you
But not
understand,
in the
palm
postseason.
trees, all
But
that kind of stuff. Not in the postseason. Well, yeah, but if you did it in the regular season and you didn't dedicate yourself, it's going to affect you come postseason because you didn't prepare.
That's a valid point. That's a
you
valid
didn't
point.
prepare.
Game 4
You
felt
ain't
like
gotta
they
get
gave
all chocolate today.
Game 4.
It's very intoxicating out here. I mean, there are a lot of distractions. You got to be focused. You got to be focused.
I was going to say, in Game 4, it felt like the Lakers gave them all the effort they possibly could. The Lakers. It was probably too little, too late, and obviously it wasn't enough talent-wise either. Coming up here, Josh Hart went off.
Have made those adjustments and have a plus 25 differential. Shifting gears, one of the biggest storylines for the NBA this offseason is what will LeBron James do? The 41-year-old is still deciding on if he intends to return for a 24th season, and if he will it be in LA or will it be somewhere else? This week on his podcast, Mind the Game, LeBron spoke for the first time on his thought process about his future.
Obviously, I understand that I'm a free agent and I can control my own destiny. If being here with this franchise, for the foreseeable future, or if it's going somewhere else. I think at some point, up until up in June, late June, as July roll around, free agency starts to gets going, and as July rolling, maybe into August, we start to kind of like get a feel of what my future may look like.
Maybe into August. Windy, make something of this.
Yeah, let me just say, he said he's going on vacation this weekend, and I think we should just let him go on vacation because I don't think maybe he's made the plan about what he wants to do yet. So here's the thing. He can do whatever. If he wants to wait until the day before the season starts, he can, and there will be teams lined up to sign him, okay? But if he wants to get a big dollar contract with the Los Angeles Lakers, he's going to have about a month because the Lakers have cap space, but he sits on their books at $58 million, okay? That's the way the rules work in the NBA. And to give you a free agent, he sits on your books until you sign him for whatever his new number is, whether it's $58 million or it's $20 million or it's $10 million, or you renounce him and say, we're giving up your rights, goodbye. And the Lakers cannot sit around and wait until mid-August to do something with that $58 million. And this is not like Aaron Rodgers, where you can sit for 6 months and then sign for $25 million. The NBA does not work like that. The Lakers have to make decisions. So really what I think it's more incumbent on the Lakers to have a plan to bring to LeBron. If they want to re-sign him, I don't want to assume anything. They need to come to LeBron and say, LeBron, here's what we want to offer and why. It's not just about the actual dollars. Of course. It's about the respect that you want to show and to say, listen, if we want you to take a pay cut to whatever it's going to be,
why?
This is what we're going to do with the money. We're going to chase these guys, and we're going to do like that. That is coming, because to me, this is really going to be who's going to come to whom first. LeBron is not going to go to the Lakers and say, more, please. They're going to have to come to him. And so really what he's doing here, he's negotiating. Right. This is part of a negotiation, but I'm not going to overreact to him saying August. I'm gonna let this see how the next few weeks goes with the Lakers moving first.
It's posturing, right? Yes. I mean, just to your point about negotiation, I think if you're LeBron, you want to see what that plan is, but also in the back of your mind, you're thinking to yourself and to your family, how do I want this ride to end? Like, where do I want it to end at? And like, is it about the money, which it's always, I don't care what anybody says, money always helps the situation, but can it be about the money and a place that I love? Or can it be about maybe taking money somewhere else in another place where I can finalize my career. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the final stretch.
How should LeBron James end his career? Should he end his career on a team that is a first-round exit? Unceremoniously, his last game, we won't know when it is, right? Or does he go somewhere in a situation where he has a chance, a legitimate chance to win and be competitive? And that's why I think you leave your options open if you're him. First of all, it probably takes him 2 to 3 hours to get ready to play a game these days, right? He's putting in a lot of time for this. But on top of it, I think it is about the legacy of how do I end my career? And that's why I think you leave the door open, not only for what the Lakers bring to you, because it's a great point. The cap hold is going to keep them from being able to do anything. So they have to have a plan first. We have X, Y, Z to do. This is what the roster is going to look like with Luka and maybe even Austin Reeves, and see if he likes that. But in the meantime, you also allow another team that might be interested to say, hey, LeBron, if you come here, this is what we've got.
Here's how I handicap this on May 22nd. Okay. I'm not saying this is how I will see it on June 22nd, but on May 22nd, this is what I think. I think by the draft, which is 1 month from today, we will know whether LeBron will be a Laker or not.
Yep.
Okay? And if he's not going to be a Laker, then he can wait until August or September. He's going to watch what everybody else does and where his situation is going to fit.
Not putting you on the spot. Is there a handful of teams you would watch, if not Los Angeles, or it's too early to even go down?
I mean, I'm not going to say that and then have the rest of my weekend ruined, Peter, trying to respond to what are you trying to do to me on a Friday? Don't make that big on a Friday.
Weekend.
Let me live.
Sorry.
But yes, I'm sure he's not going to go to any of 27 other teams. There's probably a very small list he's going to willing to go.
That list is who?
What are the odds in the West?
I'm sorry, what?
Can we just talk?
I'm trifle deaf in this here.
We have an alien in the West, 7-4, with young bucks that are playing at a high level of basketball. We have OKC and SGA.
This is the list I was looking for
with the
from
way
you.
they play.
Yeah.
Like the West is loaded. It's just something to think through.
Yeah.
Even if the Lakers come back and say we're going to go after this guy, does that get us over the hump?
Brian doesn't want a viral clip of him saying such things, but we all can kind of figure out, go east, old man, is basically what would be the answer here.
Well, there's a team playing right now.
I know.
He's in his
It's a team playing right now. Where you're like, huh?
To the NFL we go, where
Thank
Joe
God.
Burrow is back. Sorry, Wendy.